There is literally nothing in the art world like it. Artist Stephen Knapp uses only glass, brackets, and a light bulb to create light paintings. While it may sound simple, the work is anything but. His pieces have been exhibited and commissioned across the country. And tonight, Jared Bowen has the first televised look at the artist and his work in his Worcester studio.
Reduced to its hardware alone, artist Stephen Knapp's work could be abstract sculpture, a flutter of glass and steel, letting slip just a trace of color. But when not reduced, with the addition of one halogen bulb, the sculpture becomes a revelation, one after the next, after the next, after the next.
And I realized one day that if I could actually take the fabrication of the glass, the cutting, shaping, kind of like doing shadow puppets as a kid, I could maybe start to control it enough to paint with light.
They are broad, brilliant strokes of color from afar, but up close there is depth, detail, and texture. Knapp calls them light paintings, and to his knowledge, he's the only one in the world creating them, all from his large Worcester studio.
I'm manipulating light. Everybody knows light goes in a straight line, and you look at my pieces, you will see curves. You look at the crisp lines, and you'll see something feathering and fading out, which shouldn't happen. And so I'm learning, as I learn how to manipulate the light, partly by accident, what happens is very deliberate.
And for the viewer, it's very absorbing, whether on a moderate scale like the pieces in his studio, or on a very monumental scale like Knapp's public installations. While the works appear abstract, for Stephen Knapp, they are autobiographical, sparked by a lifelong fascination with light.
You're looking at colors, you're looking at little twitches of memory. I will sit and look at the reflections on a ceiling and think, oh wow, look what's happening there. Look at the way this plane is crossing this plane and creating this sort of thing. Look at the way the window glass has created a shadow that's a ripple right there.
Concentrating first on photography, then on sculpture, the self-taught artist moved steadily toward creating light paintings full-time over the last 15 years. He now curates a library of glass, numerous shapes developed and cut on a diamond bandsaw, and always at the ready.
It's really developing techniques to make the shapes work and learning that some shapes work better than others. Because you're often giving up a curve, like this wonderful line that you're seeing right here. By the time you stretch it out, you've lost the curve part of that. It's become a straight line there.
It's all about color in the glass, and how is that established?
It's a metallic coating on the glass that, I guess the best way to describe it is maybe a super selective prism. Because it's multiple layers, as you change the angle to the glass to the light, the colors themselves change. When you reflect it down, you get a much more intense color. If you let it go longer, it becomes a softer color.
Knapp is resolute about his materials. Always safety glass with polished edges, and always stainless steel brackets.
But look at the reflection right here of this mirrored stainless. And look at this piece down below it. They're going back into space, and they're actually telling you that this piece is behind this piece, which is behind this piece. And so the whole sense of scale and dimension start to happen because of the brackets. But as you block off color and light going through here, and you're seeing the effect of light as I take it away, but you're also seeing an amazing amount of stuff that happens below that light. And those colors, those reflections are all part of making this whole piece work. It's like underpainting in a painting. There's layers and layers of things happening below the surface here that give it a richness beyond just that large stroke of color.
But in the end, light is perhaps the most fragile artistic medium, forever susceptible to its environment, which to Knapp means his work has life.
I like the fact that this can be just a soft pastel on a bright, bright day. And I like the fact that it can change with the changing cloud cover passing a room, changing the ambient light in a room. I like the way that it's progression of talking about life. It talks about death. It really is a reflection on the world around us.
And Jared Bowen is here. That's spectacular. All right, so how often does he cut himself?
Well, he's very careful. Actually, he has an assistant who does a lot of the cutting for him that he works with.
But talk about this as an installation. I mean, this is, where is this? I mean, where would you put it? You know, the ICA, where would it go?
he would like the ICA to look at his work, and frankly they should. But he's had large-scale commissions, Indiana State University. The building that we showed in the piece was the Tampa, I believe, City Hall. So he's done a lot of huge public works, but he also does private commissions. Everything that we saw in his studio were smaller works that could go into homes that he would probably most likely, as he has in the past, go to your home, figure out where the best light is, and lay it out for you. He also has a lot of museum exhibitions in the works, and that are currently, I think, in the Midwest right now.
Are they mobile? Are some of them literally pieces you can pick up and move, or are they all attached to the walls? Or
they're all attached to the wall, and he has a very elaborate system because, of course, everything is dependent on how the light is coming through. That one for the smaller pieces, it's just one halogen bulb. It's different for the larger scale installations.
It's always one bulb.
It's always one bulb for the smaller pieces. So he's got a very exact system about how everything is laid out, and it has to be precisely laid out that way on the wall once it's reinstalled.
All right, I understand the prism system because that's what creates color and light. Is any of the glass, did I miss it, is the glass colored in portions?
Yeah, the glass has a metallic color that's laid on it.
But only one color or different colors?
Different colors. And as you saw, he's got this library of glass that he just works with. And I mean, it really becomes fascinating. I noticed when I got there, it's a whole different experience seeing it in person versus seeing it in pictures or on film. And very quickly, you lose sight of the glass and you lose sight of the brackets, and you really are just seeing this painting. And then you sort of have to readjust and refocus when you want to think about the glass again.
Oh, and he actually puts a frame around some of them, which is kind of funny. I mean, the light spills out of it. But
it's actually not a frame, but it looks like a frame. Sort of the white wall is a little bit extended from the wall, and then because of the way the light is hitting it, it looks like there's a black frame around it. It's fascinating.
It's just the way he made it look like a frame, but
exactly.
It's not really.
Again, playing with light.
I think the ICA ought to look at them. I mean, we've talked about the ICA. They could use something more interesting. I mean, okay. Jared Bowen, thanks. All right, and that is it for Greater Boston. Tomorrow.